Somber, atmospheric music begins, then fades to a low hum. Have you ever heard a song on the radio and felt a strange sense of déjà vu? A fleeting memory, a ghost of a feeling you can't quite place. For Clara, that feeling wasn't fleeting. It was a cold, suffocating presence that clung to her long after the music stopped. This story begins with a tragedy, but it ends with something far worse. It's the story of how Clara heard her own voice on the radio, days after she was pronounced dead. The accident was brutal, a chaotic symphony of screeching tires and shattering glass on a rain-slicked highway. Clara's car, a small, unassuming sedan, was mangled beyond recognition. When the paramedics arrived, they found her unconscious, her breathing shallow. At the hospital, doctors fought to save her, but the injuries were too severe. At 3:17 a.m., Clara Hayes was declared dead. Her family was devastated. Her younger brother, Liam, felt like a part of his own soul had been ripped away. 2 days after the funeral, Liam was driving home late at night, the world outside his windshield a blurry mess of rain and grief. He fumbled with the car radio, desperate for a distraction from the silence that screamed Clara's absence. He spun the dial, searching for anything, and landed on a faint, crackling station he'd never heard before. It was playing an old folk song, haunting and melancholic. Then the song faded, and a voice came through the static. It was a woman's voice, soft, a little shaky, but achingly familiar. Liam's heart hammered against his ribs. He would know that voice anywhere. It was Clara's. "Hello," the voice whispered, laced with confusion. "Is anyone out there? I... I don't know where I am. It's so dark." Liam slammed on the brakes, the car skidding to a halt on the empty road. He gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white. It couldn't be. It was a prank, a sick, twisted prank. But as he listened, the raw, genuine fear in her voice chilled him to the bone. "I was driving," she continued, her voice trembling. "It was raining so hard. There were these bright lights. And then, nothing. Now I'm here. It's cold. Can anyone hear me?" Liam's hands shook as he tried to adjust the dial, to get a clearer signal, but the station was elusive, fading in and out. It sounded like she was broadcasting from some old, forgotten AM station, the kind that only comes to life in the dead of night. He tried to call the station, but there was no number, no call sign he could find, just static and his sister's voice, lost in the ether. Night after night, it was the same ritual. Liam would drive the same stretch of deserted highway, chasing the ghost on the airwaves. Each time he found the station, and each time he heard Clara. Her broadcasts were fragmented, like pieces of a shattered memory. Sometimes she'd talk about their childhood, a shared secret, or a forgotten family vacation, details no one else could possibly know. "Liam, do you remember when we built that fort in the woods?" she'd ask, her voice wistful. "I wish we could go back." Other times, she'd cry, her sobs lost in the crackle of the transmission, pleading for someone to find her. Liam was coming apart. He recorded the broadcasts on his phone, playing them for his parents. They heard the voice. They recognized it, but they couldn't accept it. They saw it as a symptom of his grief, a hallucination born from trauma. "Liam, please," his mother begged, tears in her eyes. "She's gone. You have to let her go." But how could he? Her voice was right there, trapped between stations. Driven by a desperate hope, Liam started investigating. He learned about electronic voice phenomena, or EVP, the idea that spirits can manipulate electronic devices to communicate. He visited psychics and paranormal investigators, who all told him the same thing. Her spirit was trapped, tethered to the site of the accident, using the radio waves as a lifeline. One paranormal expert gave him a specific warning. "She's not just broadcasting," the man said, his eyes grave. "She's trying to pull you in." This connection, it's a two-way street. The more you listen, the stronger the bridge becomes. Be careful what you invite across. Liam didn't care. He had to reach her. One night, armed with an old ham radio and an antenna, he returned to the crash site. The air was heavy and still. He set up his equipment, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm. He tuned the dial to the phantom frequency. "Clara," he spoke into the microphone, his voice raw. "Clara, it's Liam. I can hear you. I'm here." For a moment, there was only static. Then her voice came through, clearer than ever before, as if she were sitting right next to him. "Liam?" she whispered, a fragile thread of hope in her tone. "You can hear me?" "Oh, Liam, I'm so scared. I can't see anything. It's just this crushing dark." "I'm here to bring you home, Clara," he promised, tears streaming down his face. "Just tell me what to do." "There's a signal," she said, her voice straining. "It's weak. It feels like the car's radio. It's my only light in this place. But it's fading, Liam. I'm fading with it." Suddenly, a new sound bled through the static. It was a low growl, a guttural, inhuman noise that made the hair on Liam's arm stand up. Clara's voice rose in panic. "It's here!" she shrieked. "It's been hunting me in the dark. It's drawn to the signal, to me. Liam, you have to turn it off. Destroy the radio." "What? No, I'll lose you," he cried out. "It's too late," she screamed, her voice distorting, twisting into something ugly. "It's got me. It's using me. The voice. It wasn't just me. It was a lure." The broadcast changed. Clara's sweet, familiar voice warped into a deep, rasping mockery. "So good of you to join us, Liam," it rasped, a sound like grinding stone. "She opened the door for you, and you walked right through." Liam scrambled backward, dropping the microphone. He looked at his car, parked just feet away. The dashboard lights flickered violently. The radio, which had been off, snapped on, blasting static. Through the static, he could hear it. That same monstrous voice, now coming from his own car, booming with power. He fumbled for his keys, but his car doors locked with a heavy final thud. The interior lights glowed an unnatural red. The voice on the radio laughed, a horrid, echoing sound that filled the night. "You tuned in," it snarled. "You answered the call. Now you get to be part of the broadcast, forever." The last thing Liam saw before the darkness consumed him was his own reflection in the car window. But the face staring back wasn't his. It was a distorted mask of terror, its mouth open in a silent scream, just like the one he imagined on his sister's face in her final moments. They found Liam's car the next morning, abandoned by the side of the road, its engine cold, its battery dead. He was gone. No signs of a struggle, no footprints leading away. He had simply vanished. The only thing the police found was his phone, lying on the passenger seat. It contained dozens of audio files, recordings of a dead girl's voice, crying out from a place between worlds, and the final, terrifying broadcast that served as his own epitaph. Sometimes, late at night, when you're driving down a lonely road and the radio starts to crackle, you might want to change the station, because you never know who or what might be trying to broadcast, and you might not like the story it has to tell. Thank you for listening to The Last Breath Story. If our tales chill you to the bone, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more true horror. Until next time, stay safe and try not to listen too closely to the static.